Praise be to your holy name. Praise be to your holy name. I'm coming to you, Father, to seek your holy will and how to speak your words and not mine. And as you speak, put your hand upon each and every one that hears what you are saying. For I come to you today on this Sabbath day, this day of rest, this day of peace, and I glorify your holy name. I glorify you above all things. I glorify you, Father. I glorify you. For you are holy and righteous. I glorify you, Yeshua, the Son of the Most High. For you're the one that gave your life. You gave your life that we can be set free. We can be set free. Blessings in the name of Yeshua. I come today speaking to everyone again of Yeshua's great love and his great mercy. As you noted on some of my very first videos, how I seen Yeshua that night. I seen him. I was only 7, but I seen him. I remember it as if it was last night. That's how clear I remember it. You know what? When you come into the presence of Yeshua, you remember every word, every detail, every moment. I've often wondered throughout my life and my journey, sort of like the song I put up as a brief break, you know. I love that song, Revelation, by Third Day. It speaks to my heart and my soul, a calming effect. But I got to read something to you that the Father gave me. It says in 1 Peter 4, beginning with chapter 4, verse 12, beginning at verse 12. Dear friend, don't regard as strangers the fiery ordeal occurring among you. Excuse me. To test you as if something extraordinary were happening to you. You know, testings come upon us. Testings come upon us all the time. Before he moves us into a deeper walk, before he moves us into an area that we may have to deal with, not only in our lives and others' lives, he tests us. And you go, I wonder why. We are in training. It's like we're in boot camp. Now, when you're drafted into the service, and everybody that's been in the service knows this, they put you through boot camp first. They just don't job a gun in your hand and send you out on the front line in the battle and say, okay, kill or be killed, you know. No, they get you ready to go out there and fight. Well, the testing is going on here, but for a higher standard than going to war. We are being trained to rule and reign with the Messiah. And we have to be prepared to know how to do this. We have to know how to do it in compassion and love, just like Yahweh, He does every day. You know how many times He should have smitten me down? But He didn't. He just loved me. It says, rather, on 13, rather to extent that you share the fellowship of the Messiah suffering, rejoice, so that you may rejoice even more than when His Shekinah is revealed. When people say things, I know that it's not them, that Satan has pricked their hearts in some way or another and caused an offense. So when people are offended and they're afraid, they come up against the human being, the messenger. We as the messenger must understand that. And in love and kindness, love them back and pray for them until they can understand the will of the Father. And you know, really, it's not about what I personally believe about the UFOs and the aliens and the falling angels. It really isn't. Besides, after the bride is gone, there will be many things that people will see that's left behind. And I put my tapes out is that after we're gone, maybe someone will stumble across them and go, wow, that's what's going on. What Barbara said about the fallen angels, I see them coming back again, because you know Yeshua isn't going to come back in a spaceship. So when one comes back, you will know that he's the Antichrist or a false Christ. And you know what? I would rather to be wrong than right. But according to the scriptures in the Bible, I really believe they'll come back. But that's neither here nor there. That's doctrinism. Get off of it. We are to preach the glorious news of Yeshua. We are to extend His love to everyone out there and to bring Him in. See, that's the important thing right now. This time of grace and the calling out of the Spirit is for warning you that He's coming soon. And we have to have our lives ready and prepared. Because it says in here that His judgment comes to the house of God. It says it begins with the house of God. And if the righteous is barely delivered, where will the ungodly and sinful end up? So if the righteous barely delivered, so it's a walk of holiness and of righteousness, of giving yourself over to Him, yielding to Him every day of your life to walk in His purity and love. And if you think it's not the hardest journey you've ever made in your life, you're mistaken, because it is the hardest journey. I rejoice in this walk. I rejoice in this journey. But if you don't think just because I have been called that I have it easy, no. More is required of me because of my calling. And this is why I speak His words and only His words. For if I mislead one person and they die and go to hell, their blood will be on my hands. And God forbid that would happen. So I come to you today, beseeching you and asking you to give it all to Him. In the name of Yeshua. In the name of His. Praise be to your holy name.